And when you're involved with money, then you really need to work with someone that you can trust and someone that you're on this, you have the same values, you're on the same page, because investors are a whole spectrum.
Thanks for joining us on another REI-NWA podcast. This is podcast number 11, and I'm your host, Colley Bailey. I'm a broker and team leader with the LoneRock team at Fathom Realty. And today is a great episode because we get to talk to Kathleen Everitt, who is our fearless leader here at REI. And I'm so glad to have you on the podcast.
Oh, Colley,
you should have been the first podcast. You should have been the number one.
No, I'm just so impressed with what you're doing with promoting all of our programs. I just think it's wonderful. And you do a magnificent job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We try.
Yeah, we do.
You put a lot of pressure on us. And
I've heard that.
And
I don't believe it.
And we're doing a good... I'm. You know what I'm really excited about?
What?
I'm excited about having these microphones and the studio set up, and it's been great.
Do you want to talk about the first 3 or 4 that we put together?
I mean, I can't listen to the audio from the first several of them. Great speakers.
I know.
I didn't have the microphones to capture it very well. But all right, so tell us a little bit about the history of REI-NWA, how this thing came to be, and how we got to this point.
Brant Barnes was actually our co-founder, and he and a buddy of his by the name of Andrew Henson, who is a builder here in Northwest Arkansas, and then Brant and he got together and just decided that they wanted to hang out with some investors and talk real estate.
Do you remember what year that was?
It was January of 2015.
Okay, 2015.
Yeah. And so they just picked up the phone. Well, let me back up and say a little bit about Brant, because he was such an amazing guy. He passed away in January of this year, and he was just an amazing person. You see these people who are always ready to help somebody else, and he was a wheeler dealer and just a guy that he owned the shelter insurance company. He bought and sold airplanes and in his spare time, and cars, and he was always helping somebody start.
Didn't he have pizza restaurants too?
Oh, yeah. I forgot
Was
about
it Papa
that.
John's or something?
Yeah, Papa John's in about 3 different states. And he owned his own airplane and was a pilot.
Yeah.
And so he would just fly around the country, kind of like you and I would drive cars.
Yep.
Anyway, he was just a great guy, help anybody, was a great mentor. And he and Andrew got together and decided they just wanted to hang out with people and talk about real estate investing. So they picked up the phone. And they're what I used to call Rolodex. They don't do Rolodex anymore. But so they picked up the phone and made some calls. 20 people showed up. And that was, I think it was January. Well, it was January of 2015.
Okay.
And so I was one of those people. And so I went to Brant the next day and I said, I've been trying to do this for a while. I think I could help you out and get this started. And so he sits back and he says, show me what you can do. And I did. And so we kind of started out with just a main meeting. And after, I think it was almost it was probably 8 or 9 months, we added Rookie Nook for beginning investors. And then a couple of years later, I believe we started Landlord Lunch. And so that was 3 of our programs. But we had builders and we had contractors in our membership. So we started a builder circle, and those are the 4 programs.
So those are the main
month.
4 that we're doing now. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, that's great.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, okay, so this is a good segue. Our next main meeting is going to be about joint ventures and private money.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. That should be a lot of fun.
And who's the speaker coming up for that one?
Well, I'm going to talk about some changes in our joint venture club, and I can talk a little bit about that. But then we have one of our members, whose name is Yanni Schmidt, is involved with Key Renters Property Management. And he actually came from the last place he lived was in Tulsa. And he put together a networking program where he brought together private funders. What do you say? So private funders and invited real estate investors. So there's the Real Estate Investors Association in Tulsa as well. Mm-hmm. And they did a networking program that they'll probably do twice a year in Tulsa. But the whole concept was to bring together private funders with real estate investors. And that's kind of what all of our program is going to be for our main meeting.
Yeah. All right, fantastic. And then, so REI-NWA has a joint venture club.
Yes.
That you've had for a while, and you're making some changes to it. What is that going to look like? It's
going to be very exciting. We started the joint venture club for people who had what I call experience. So they've done at least 3 to 4 deals already, whether it was fix and flip or buy and hold. And what happens at that point in the whole investing cycle is that you've spent all your money because you've done all of these transactions. So they didn't need to build their team because it was already in place. Mm-hmm. But they spent their money on all of the transactions that they had done. Yeah. So what are they looking for? They're looking for new deals. They're looking for funding for those deals because they ran out of money. Right. And
especially buy and hold.
Oh
yeah. You burn through a couple of down payments, and then you're kind of stuck. So
and there's a learning curve on that,
right.
Because when you first start out doing buy and hold, you want to build or maintain whatever you would want to live in.
Right.
And that's not really the way investing works.
Yeah,
for some of us.
Yeah,
depending what your baseline is for what you'd want to
exactly. Yeah.
So then what we wanted to do was reach those investors who had done 4+ deals, and or if they had certified funds available that they were willing and able to commit, and so that was the criteria. And initially, what we wanted to do was the joint venture club was obviously to promote more joint ventures. And so it wasn't really about pooling your funds to purchase another deal. What we wanted to do was create the space where investors could get together and form trusted relationships that would result in joint ventures.
Right. Okay.
Because if you're going to lend, I don't know, $50,000, $100,000 to a person, you kind of want to know a little bit about them.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So what we're going to do with that is, in the past, this is our 3rd year of doing joint ventures. And in the past, we've made it a closed group that is only open to new people once a year. And so what we're doing, this is so exciting, what we're doing is open it up to everybody who's a member, open it up to everybody, and you can join whenever you want to join. Okay. It's not just once a year. So it ought to be interesting.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Yeah. So it's going to deepen some of the networking relationships that we have at our normal programs and normal meetings,
exactly.
But you can actually go deeper with other people who are looking specifically to do those joint venture deals.
And when you're involved with money, then you really need to work with someone that you can trust and someone that you're on this. You have the same values. You're on the same page, because investors are a full spectrum
of Absolutely. Everybody has different. I think the most important thing that I've seen with investors and especially in real estate is just that everybody has the right expectations going in and good communication all the way through. And those things tend to lend to trust, you know, and trust is just one of those things you have to earn. It's respect you have to earn. I mean,
it doesn't happen overnight.
Exactly. So it all has to, it takes time, and building those relationships is very, very important. So it's great that we have this opportunity. So
it's kind of like a marriage, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but I think it is.
So make sure you're coming to our main meeting on November 16th, 2023. It's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn in Bentonville. Doors open at 5:30, and it's $20 at the door, but here's a little tip. You could just join REI-NWA, and you can come to all of our events throughout the year for a month for nothing at the door. Just put your name tag on and start networking.
Excellent. We hope to see lots of people there. It's going to be fun.
Thank you for being on our podcast. Finally.
I got to say that you are doing a magnificent job. You know, you may not know this, but Colley is our director of marketing for REI-NWA, and he just put all of these podcasts together and did a great job. So,
well, thank you. Thank you. It's been fun. It's been a challenge, but it's been great to meet everybody. Oh. That's just been fantastic, and I am loving the fact that we're able to share everybody's story. Yeah. You know, with the world. Really, it's really cool.
You know, people tell me this all the time, or I tell people this all the time, that we have a really exceptional group. I mean, they're friendly, they're willing to share. We've got seasoned investors and rookies just coming in, but they are just an awesome group of people that you're going to want to meet.
Yep, and it keeps evolving and growing, and it's fun. It's fun to see.
Thanks,
all right,
Colley.
Join us on the next one, everybody.
Bye.